Next, let's run some mathematics on our database. What I'd like to have Excel do is sum up the totals in this column where the month here is equal to January. I'll click in here and I'll type my calculation. I'm going to use the DSUM function for this. So I'll say DSUM. The first thing it wants is the database. So I'll type in Q1. I see Q1 right here. I'll go ahead and choose it and press tab, then a comma. This column I want to do the summation on is the total column. So I'll go ahead and just click on the total column. And then finally, what it would like is the range for the criteria, and I will choose this range right here. When I press enter, I get 78,733. Let's check this out. If I scroll this down a little bit and I select just the January cells, and I see I've selected just the January cells, and I look down here, sure enough, the taskbar is telling me that it's 78,733. So it looks like this DSUM is working. Next, let's run the average. The daverage function is going to be exactly like the dsum function, but we're going to use the word average instead of dsum. So just as a shortcut, what I'll do is go ahead and just select my formula up in the formula bar. I will do a Control-C to copy it. I will press Escape to back out. I will come down under the word average and do a Control-V to paste it. And I will just get a duplication of the dsum function. I will then come up here and type in daverage, press enter, and I have the average instead of the sum. Next, I'd like to filter out some records in my table. I'm going to come out here and click once in the middle of the table and choose Filter. And under United States, I will come down and choose Number Filters, and I will say Greater Than. And I only want to see those records where the United States values are greater than 7,000, or if they're less than 500. I want to leave out everything in between and only see everything that's less than 500 or greater than 1,000. When I click OK, it filters out those records. I get a small amount. I select these guys in the total column, and I see that I have 70,038 for my figure here. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. I'll clear the filter. Now I'd like to just have this done automatically. I don't want to filter and then total. I want to do this all in one step. So I'll come out here under my sum, and I'll choose, like before, equals dsum, and I'll choose Q1, which is the name of my table. Press my tab key. I'll go ahead and choose the total column, and then I'll choose this criteria range, and because I have less than 500 or greater than 7,000, this will work as criteria. The trick here is to have these stacked on top of each other, and it's an OR. So now when I go ahead and press enter, I get 70,038 over here, and I don't have to filter the records ahead of time and run the sum. When I choose less than 500 or greater than 7,000, I'm leaving off everything in the middle. Well, what if I just wanted to see the stuff in the middle? That is, I didn't want to see everything less than 500, and I didn't want to see anything greater than 1,000. I wanted to see everything between 501 and 6,999. We have to employ the OR, which means I have to stack these side by side in my previous example. But I only have one label for the United States. How can I do this? I'll just make an extra label for the United States. I'll come up to Canada, I'll right-click, choose Insert, I'll shift the cells right, I'll click OK, and then I'll grab the United States, hold my Control key, and just drag that label over here. Now I have the United States twice. So I'll come out here and I'll say greater than 500, and on the same row, I'll say less than 7,000, and it'll pull everything in between. Down under the sum, I'll say equals dsum, open parentheses. I'll start with my Q for quarter. I'll choose quarter, press tab, comma, I'll click on my total label, comma, and I'll select the range, including my criteria underneath, and I'll press enter. And I get 423,702. I've gone ahead and blocked these ahead of time. If I come down here and take a look, United States starts here, would be greater than 502, and take a look all the way down here, and it starts right there. That's less than 1,000. If you grab this guy right here, select all the way to the top, you take a look down here, it's 423,702. So it looks like it's working.